Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back with Spotlight Wednesdays. You know what time it is? DJ Layla was in the building again and again and again. We also have my man Trey Cool in the building. What up, Cool?
What's the deal? You already know what's going on. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Spotlight Wednesdays was born, or excuse me, was created to for influential people within their community, to put the spotlight on them, man, and let them know what they're doing within their community. At the same time, turning his phone off.
Oh no, that's a computer. That's my computer.
Oh, okay. But Spotlight Wednesdays, man, you know what we do here, man. We interview influential people within their community, hoping to send a positive message to other people out there that they may go within their community and create something that will be beneficial to their communities. You know what I mean? Today we have on our special guest, one of the greatest women I know alive so far, my lady Miss Tampa Mystic. How you doing, baby?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing tonight? How the fellas doing, man?
We
All
definitely
right,
doing
well,
fine.
that's a big compliment, man. Because you know how you feel about mama, so you know that's a big compliment.
But definitely, man. The reason why I say that because me and her have a long history. We have a long
Facts.
history of her, whether it's business or whether it's just just kicking it. You know what I mean? From my
Yep.
Atlanta days going down to Atlanta, man. She always been there for the start. It's been over about a decade now, right?
Yeah, it's definitely been over a decade that we've been rocking for sure, man, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. For all my fans out there who don't know who Tampa Mystic is, please give them a brief summary of who Tampa Mystic is.
Hey, what's going on? It is your girl Tampa Mystic. I'm the CEO of Mystics Entertainment. Just real quickly, under Mystics Entertainment, I offer a lot of different services. Promotional marketing, PR type services, blog works, articles, write ups, things of that nature. I also have Industry's Most Wanted LLC, which you can see in the background. That's my podcast that I've been pushing for about 11 years now. Also, I'm the co-CEO for the Grind Report magazine. Me and my business partner have been publishing the magazine for probably about 11 years now. So we do a lot of stuff with the independent artists, just the music culture. And I'm glad to be here.
Definitely. I wanted to touch on the first thing though. I want to touch on a lot of entrepreneurship. You know what I
Yes.
mean, and the importance of entrepreneurship. What are three most important habits to being a successful entrepreneur? I can't even talk today, but a successful entrepreneur for you.
Definitely consistency. And that's with anything in life. But as an entrepreneur, I moved to Atlanta back in 2013 and October of 2013, probably around February 2014, my job kicked me to the curb. I had been there for 12 years and I had already started running my business. So from that point forward, I knew that one, I had to be consistent because you can't just sleep in and get up when you want to. Like you got to get up and get to it. Second thing is every move you make has to make sense. Shout out to the OG Bigger Rank, and he instilled that one in me. Because he was the first person I called when I decided to do this full time. And he was like, every move you make has to make sense. And I'll just elaborate, ever so slightly on that. When you get ready to make moves, man, you have to learn to be proactive rather than reactive. You got to think about those moves before you do them. How's it going to affect you, your business, people around you? And then relationships. I've learned that building relationships are going to put you in places that money cannot. So, definitely stay consistent. Every move you make has to make sense and you got to build them relationships.
Definitely. You want to go, Cool?
Oh yeah, sure. You know, going down to Atlanta. Where you originally from again?
I'm from Tampa, Florida.
Tampa Mystic. Okay, don't do me. All right, but no. Moving to Atlanta from Tampa. What was the difference between the music scenes?
Definitely in Atlanta, man, people really support out here. Like the culture is just so different within, the music business, especially this hip hop music industry. When I moved out here, I was doing artist showcases and I was doing that in Tampa, but I got so much more love in Atlanta and I'm not even from here. Like I was able to really pack my events out here. So people support, people out here really want to work together. And I think it's because there's so many business minded people, entrepreneurs, people just really trying to get out there and get on their grind. So definitely Atlanta is full of opportunity and it's a great city for people who are pursuing not only music, but just, entrepreneurial, business altogether.
Definitely. I got a two-part question. Being that you being from Tampa, how much difference is it from support from people you know as of support from people you don't even know? Period. One. And second of all, all the things that you do, what's a typical day in the life of Tampa Mystic?
Okay, so the first part of that question, it's so funny, Laylo, that you say that because I think about that from time to time. I don't allow it to steal my energy because I always have great energy, but a lot of times you get support from the outside before you do on the inside. And I hear a lot of people talk about that. Why is that? I don't know because I support all the people that are close around me. I love putting people in positions. So, definitely I tend to get more support from the outside than I do the inside. And another thing that I've learned too is sometimes the people wearing the same jersey as you be your biggest haters, if you get what I'm saying. you know,
Yeah.
um, you think that they're your teammates or they're your ride or dies, but they really slick plotting on you, hating on you, and don't want to see you win. So I think a lot of times that's why they don't support, is because they just don't want to see you come up and do better than them. I've experienced that, and just to keep it all the way G, I have more men hate on me than I do females, and I know that sounds crazy, but it's just that's just what it is. I don't know. A typical day in my life, like it's funny because I had posted on my story earlier today that being a business owner allows me the freedom to create my day every day. So I wake up in the morning, whatever time I wake up, sometimes it might be earlier than others. And, I get up, have my breakfast, and then I work out. Like I like to do my workouts early in the morning. And I spend the first, maybe like couple hours of my day just doing me. You have to have a work-life balance. Some people, when they become entrepreneurs, they just work all the time and they don't take time for themselves. They forget about themselves, and it's very important. We gotta take care of ourselves mentally, physically, spiritually, all that. So, I'll spend my first couple hours of my day just doing me, working out, go running my errands, doing whatever I want to do, and then midway through the day is when I kick off, doing what I do within my business. I work more so at night. I'm more productive at night. Like, I'm at my podcast studio right now because after this, I got other interviews coming through. And so that's basically how my day runs. I get up, I do me in the morning, and then, afternoon through evening time, I cater and work with other people.
How important do you feel like it? How important do you feel working out is to your lifestyle?
Man, I'll be honest with you. It's very important because I've lost I lost my sister 10 years ago because she didn't take care of herself. She was only 41 years old. She was overweight. She had high blood pressure. She ended up with cancer and she lost her life at 41. And that's what really like changed my outlook on life. I was like, man, she was way too young. And it's because, she just didn't take care of herself. And I was like, I got to change my lifestyle around. So I haven't, I've been vegan for about 7 years now. I don't consume any meat or dairy. And I make sure I get some form of exercise in every day with whether it's just going for a walk or, going to the gym or doing something. So, and I try to encourage other people too. I don't push it on them because I'm not that person where I try to force it on people, but I like to motivate and encourage people because as an entrepreneur, we can't afford to get sick, right? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people don't have health insurance, you know what I'm saying? Or if they get sick and they're down for a minute, there's nobody else to pick up the slack for them. So it's like, I think it's important that we got to be mindful of what we're putting in our body and how we're taking care of our body.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was really a sneak diss. Uh,
He
but
always talking about me.
Come on, Laylo.
maybe it'll be better coming from somebody else's mouth. But no,
Yeah, because we don't
you
listen to him.
you had said also that some of your biggest haters are men. What do you um, think that's from?
I think honestly, and I mean this in the most humble way, Laylo. I'm a humble individual, but I think it's because I outwork a lot of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. Shout out to OG Bigger Rankin. He always says that he's like, man, she grinds harder than these men out here. You know how Bigger talks, and
Mhm.
not that I feel like I got anything to prove. It's just this is my passion. My passion is this music business, which leads me into my purpose, which is to help other people. So, when you align your passion and your purpose in life, man, it's relentless.
Do you think that double standard rule stands like it does in the music part of the industry as well as in the entertainment and podcasting industry? That double
Mm,
standard that men's double standard for women.
um, mm, yeah, I guess so because I don't want anybody thinking I'm throwing shade because I'm most certainly not. But it's just funny to me that I've always, in the 12 years that I've been interviewing, because I was doing interviews and stuff, and I was on radio before it was really called podcasting, because it used to be industry's most wanted radio. And then when podcasting became popular, I went ahead and switched it because I learned, like 2 Chainz said in an interview, get on board or get left behind, right? So I went ahead and switched it over to podcast. But what I've noticed is I love working with a lot of independent artists that are on the rise. And I catch them before they really blow. And then I see some of my peers around me that'll, after I've interviewed this person and they start to catch a little buzz, now you want to bring them onto your show. And I'm not saying that they're doing it because I did it, but I just like to catch people on that early. I want to be a part of your journey. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not out here clout chasing. I just want to be a part of someone's journey when they're on the rise. That way, when they blow up, I can say, yeah, I was one of the first ones to interview you. So, yeah, I mean, but there's some dope podcasts and stuff out here. Like, there's, shout out to my girl Lala Shepherd with the Progress Report. That's my girl, man. Like, we send clients back and forth to each other. There's a few other ones out here as well. So I don't know. I guess it really just depends on who the person is. But I don't really I don't allow that to sway me or take me off my game or keep me out of my focus. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just out here working.
Tell me one of your most favorite experiences in this industry that you came across or that you hosted, whether one of your most favorite experiences.
So I moved, like I said, I moved here in 2013. I want to say maybe late 2014 or even sometime in the 2015, I was doing my showcase, which was also branded under Industry's Most Wanted, at a spot near downtown Atlanta. And my DJ that was DJing for all my showcases, he was friends with Andre 3000 and his people, because my DJ was from Atlanta, and he was able to get him to come through just off of love. He ain't asked for nothing. He came through and he like stayed the whole night. You know what I'm saying? 3 Stacks came through, and I was still fairly new out here. And I'm like, I don't know anybody else from Atlanta in the history of showcases who've been able to bring 3 Stacks out. And he came out and he was, interacting with the artists, taking pictures, doing videos. And, I'm like, hey, do you want a VIP section? He's like, nah, I just want to, so he was like mingling with the crowd, eating chicken wings and just, it was so dope to have him because he's so legendary to me. And then honestly, one of my first interviews that I did was with Rico Wade. He's the founder of the Dungeon Family. So those are probably 2 really highlight moments because I'm such a big outcast or the whole Organized Noise Dungeon Family. So definitely those are moments that stand out to me.
Anytime you ever been I know we, as who we are in the industry, we try not to be, but have you ever been starstruck?
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I always had the biggest crush on Nelly.
said Nelly. Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's crazy because before Instagram, I was really heavy on Twitter. And when he followed me back on Twitter, I was like, Nelly followed me on Twitter, So, like, yeah, I never met the dude, but I just had the biggest crush on him. Like the little Band-Aid thing, I don't know. It was just a vibe for me.
You could have went and got crisscross. Tell me some of your biggest challenges you feel that's in this industry.
I think for a lot of people, whether it be artists or entrepreneurs or anybody, is budget. There's so many things that
Biggest challenge.
Yeah, that's major. I still deal with that. Every bit of money I make outside of paying my bills, I dump back into my business. And it took me 10 years of really grinding it out to finally get my own spot. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to make sure that I was able to do it. And okay, now I can afford to do this. So, budget is definitely a big one. And I think a lot of people encounter that. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it, because I came from a situation where I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills to now where I'm comfortable and things are going good. So definitely that. And me personally, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm slick an introvert. I really struggle with sometimes being out there. I know I need to get out there more, and I was for a while, but now I'm like, it really takes a lot to get me out there and like attend events. And I tell people it's not that I don't want to support, it's just within me. I don't really like being around big crowds of people. So, those are a couple of things that I struggle with, and that's a challenge for me.
Well, I ain't mean to cut you off, cool, but when I met you, you were doing showcases and radio.
Yes.
That's being around a lot of people.
No, it is, but like I'm at a now, I guess maybe because I'm a little older, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I
right,
just
right.
man, going home and chilling and being home, like
And getting
when
your
I'm not
piece.
working, is my peace of mind. Like I still get anxiety being in traffic sometimes because the traffic out here in Atlanta is hell. Like people will run you over and keep going. So like just being around people, like I don't even like going to the grocery store sometimes just because I'm like, I don't like being around people because there's so many different types of energy out there that it's like you never know what you're going to encounter. So yeah, that's a struggle for me. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I'm with you. I'm a promoter, and my job and my goal is to bring out the biggest crowds that I can. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, yeah, I'm alone.
And it
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
and
by,
it's like, so
by
I
myself.
call myself, and you could probably agree with me. I call myself a social introvert. I
Yeah,
socialize
for
really
sure.
because
Yeah,
I have to, but
yeah.
slick, I'm an
Really?
introvert. When I'm ready to retire, I want to move like away. Like I want to be out in the boonies somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I want to grow my own food, and that's how I want to retire.
I
That's
ain't gonna
dope.
say that. I ain't gonna go that far. I was thinking about three maids, masseuse, and some other stuff. But yeah, it's cool. Uh, but as a woman in the industry, it it's on my mind. And that's one I've been going back and forth on actually how to put it in a proper context. But and I know it's different for a man because if it was me and a female that I liked, came in for an interview or whatever, and I felt the vibe and the vibe was there. Me as a male and who I am, I I might you know,
Shoot your
take that
shot.
shot.
That's your
Take
shot.
that, take that,
You gonna
take,
Just
shoot
say
your
it.
take,
shot? Just
take.
say it.
I'm gonna take that shot. But as a female in this industry, I know it's harder to actually be in that situation. So, like, as a female in the industry, like, what do you do in those situations?
You know, as a female in this industry, first of all, I tell a lot because I get these artists stay
For
trying to get it.
sure. I mean, for sure. Come on now.
They stay trying to get at me, but I tell a lot of them, I'm like, first of all, I'm old enough to be your mother. So don't have, you know
Yeah,
what
that's right
I'm
there.
saying? Slick. But I really, I have to let them know out the gate, you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to compliment me, that's cool, but you don't have to do that to try to get close to me. Let's just work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with, if you meet someone along your journey within this business and y'all are catching a vibe, man, go for it. We only live once, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Have you
um
been there? Have you been there personally, where you actually caught the vibe and caught what the person was trying to put down?
I have for sure. One time, just one time in this since I've been in this music business. One time. Cause before I got in this music business, and I don't mind sharing, I was in a 12-year relationship, and towards the end of that is when I started getting involved in this music business, and he didn't like it because I had to
Of
always
course
be
not.
around
How?
in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, I haven't been in a relationship in 10 years because of the industry. So
Right. And it was tough when I ended it, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? It's all good because before I get to feel like I'm getting too old, let me go ahead and exit this situation and pursue what I want to do. And around that same time, my son was graduating high school. And when he graduated high school, he left for the military. I packed my bags and moved to Atlanta, like I said, back in 2013, so it's been a journey. But yeah, I mean, I'm not against it, and it's funny that you asked that because I had asked Bigger Rankin that, Big is my OG. You guys will hear me mention him a lot because he's my mentor in this business. And I even asked him, I told him, I said, man, I get hit on a lot by dudes in this business. What you think? And he said, honestly, you'll probably have to end up with somebody in the business because otherwise they're not going to understand. They're not going to understand that you got to deal with dudes every day and they're always going to be in your face and they're always going to be leaving comments on your post and this and that. So,
Mhm.
I'm not opposed to it.
Right.
How do you deal with generational trends?
How do I
With
deal with
meaning,
what?
how do you what's your how do you stay on top of industry trends, things that
Mm.
switching, like just like the their generation might not be our generation, and how it switch over
Understood.
time.
Okay. Like I mentioned earlier, I had heard Two Chains say in an interview, because Two Chains a little bit older. He's not old, but he's a little older. He's seasoned. He said you got to get on board or get left behind, and that's how I feel. And honestly, me being in this business, I'm 48, right? I just turned 48. I ain't like an old 48. I'm a young 48. um, you know, being in this business and working with these young artists, man, it gives me life. Like it really keeps me young. It keeps me feeling good. It keeps me full of energy. So, with that being said, I really try to stay up with what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, for a long time, I didn't have a TikTok, and I finally recently got a TikTok. So I'm like, okay,
Me
this is what
too.
all the youngins are doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do on there. I don't know, because I'm like, I don't want to post the same thing that I post on Instagram. What's the point? You got to, I want to do something different. So, I'm with it. I love embracing new stuff. And funny that again that you should ask that, because I have some friends of mine that are maybe like a couple years older than me, and they're so like stuck in the old school way of doing stuff. And sometimes they be looking at me crazy because I guess I'm just cool, and I was a single mom. I raised my son, so he kept me young and vibrant. And I was like, man, I'm so glad that I missed that generational gap of, if I would have been born 2 years earlier, I probably would have been like a whole different person. You know what I'm saying? So I
Hmm.
love it. I love the social media. I love these young artists. I love them seeing what they're doing because they're keeping me young. They're keeping me alive.
For sure.
You've been in the industry for a long time now.
Yeah.
How do you prevent two-part question again? How do you prevent getting burnt out? One, and also, how I put this? How do you when did you know that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Period.
Okay. How I keep from getting burnt out is that I'm very innovative. I'm always, not just me, but my business partner. Shout out to my business partner, Shah Saifa. We're always thinking of the next thing that we can do. Because if you stay complacent and you just do the same thing all the time, man, you will get burnt out. You know what I'm saying? It's just like being in a relationship. You got to spice it up sometimes and do different things. Because if you keep it routine and you do the same thing all the time, you're going to get bored. You're going to get burnt out. Things are just going to go down. So I think it's really just, just really innovating and figuring out new things I can do, even with just within my podcast. I'm always looking to incorporate new things and do different things. So I think just being innovative, being creative, that's what we are. We're creatives, we're content creators. So, just always, coming up with new and fresh ideas of keeping my mind going rather than just sitting there being complacent, doing the same shit day after day. You know what I'm saying? And what was the second question?
What was my second question? When did you know that
We
you wanted to be
getting
an
old.
entrepreneur? When did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur within this business?
Honestly, from the very beginning, I knew even before I really got in this business, I knew. And you know, I was thinking about, it's crazy. You must be in my head because I was thinking about this morning, and I was like, my son really like was a major part of my life because he was my only child, number one, and I was a single mom, right? I had my son when I was 19. I had him right out of high school, and I stayed completely involved in his life from day one until he moved out and went to the military. I put everything I really wanted to do on hold. Not that I regret that. I wouldn't change it for anything. But I knew before I got into this business that I wanted to work for myself and I wanted to be a business owner and I wanted to be my own boss. I just had to wait for that right time because it's a major risk leaving your job and doing this full time, not knowing where your next dollar is going to come from. So while my son was still at home and I was a single mom, I couldn't afford to do that. So I stayed working. Fortunately, I was making great money. But when I moved here, I told you they laid me off shortly after I got here. I don't know. I think they felt they was overpaying me. I don't know, but I knew like from the moment I got in this business, because I already kind of knew before that I always wanted to do something on my own. And I had always said early on too, people asked me, what are some of the things you aspire to do in the business? And I was like, one day I want to have my own studio. Well, I don't have a full on studio, but I got my podcast studio now. But my goal is within the next 2 years to have a full studio, recording studio, filming, photography, podcasting, all that. So I would say since day one, like I've always wanted to be my own boss, man. There's no better feeling than waking up every day, just creating your day the way you want it to go.
I think we're in each other's head because that's my same vision almost. You know what I mean? It's very close to 90% of the same vision. I got another question. You want to ask a question before I ask it?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what you knew that you wanted to be an entrepreneur, but what made it become hip hop, the music? Uh,
Mm. You
you
know,
know,
I've always, like everybody else, I think, always had a love for music. Early on, my uncle, he was one of my biggest inspirations for just loving music, period, because he played different instruments. He played the drums, he played the guitar, he played the keyboard. And I remember being like little, and just watching him do his thing, beating on the drums and playing the keyboard. And I was like, I was just so infatuated with that. So I've always been a lover of music. And you know, honestly, I've always been around the culture. You know what I'm saying? My son is biracial. And it's just like I've always just been a part of the culture. And it's like, for me, it feels like this is where I
organic.
belong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I don't even have to think about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's just I don't know. It's just this is where I belong. Like, and it's been so embracing for me. Like honestly, I'm so thankful because, I came to Atlanta as not only as a female, but as a white female in a predominantly black male dominated business. And man, it has been so beautiful. Like everybody, like it's been love. Like I said, you're going to meet some people along the way who going to not support you, but that's cool. I don't even see those people. So, man, I don't know. I think it's just within me. It's just being a part of me. You know what I'm saying? This is what I was born to do. And I'm loving every second of it.
One more question. When you first became an entrepreneur, now that you had your own business, what do you feel was one of your biggest mistakes?
One of my biggest mistakes was really like putting my trust into the wrong people, man. Like along my journey, I've had people that I really try to see the good in every people, and I try to see the good in every situation. And I really brought people along my journey that I shouldn't have. I put them in positions because I wanted to see them do good, and it ended up coming back to bite me in the butt. And I don't even talk to those people no more. So I think that one of my biggest mistakes is just really pouring myself into the wrong people, if that makes sense.
Definitely
Um,
makes sense.
you said that when you came, you came along. At what point in the journey did you realize that you needed help? And you shouted out your business partner earlier. At what point did you say, I need to find whoever that person is, him, her?
Yeah. Early on, because man, trying to do so many things by yourself. I would say once I transitioned to doing this full time is when I knew, man, I really need help because there's so much to do and I can't handle all of it, nor do I want to. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to necessarily be the one that I take credit for everything. So I brought some people, around me. Some of them are still here, some of them are gone. So I would say early on, from when I first started doing this full time, I knew like when I first started doing my show, my podcast out here in Atlanta, I immediately brought a co-host on with me. Because I was like, I need a team around me. I need some good people around me. So like I said, some are still here, some are not. It's all good.
Is it on me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was waiting for you. Okay, but just a few more questions. We ain't gonna hold you too long. But some of the notable people that you work with and who you would like to work with in the future.
All right. So some of the notable people that I've worked with or currently working with, of course, I gotta always shout out to the OG man. Shout out to Bigger Rankin. Like he's been him, and of course, I gotta shout out to Kingpin, aka Rap Juggernaut. Those are the first two people that have been doing this for so long that really wrapped their arms around me and said, "Come on, let's go." And then along my journey, man, some of the people that I've had the pleasure of working with or still working with, shout out to TIG, I think it's a game family. Shout out to Lucci. Y'all got to free my bro, Lucci. Been a part of his campaign since early on. I've got 2 plaques on my wall over here. You can't see it. You know what I'm saying? That came from my dog, Lucci. Definitely. Who else have I worked with? Man, there's so many people.
Right.
And I don't even really try to throw it out there too much, but definitely I've worked with a lot of the people from the Atlanta area, Love and Hip Hop. They've come out and I've done a lot of events from them. I mentioned Rico Wade, which Rico Wade is the founder of the Dungeon Family. After I interviewed him, he and I had built a relationship, and he started doing some showcases, and he was booking me to come host his events, that was major. I'm like, dang, I'm not even from Atlanta. And he's real deal Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So working with him. And then, of course, shout out to Pastor John Elmore and Lady T. I'm the executive for their studio. And Pastor John, he's a phenomenal producer. He produced the Rick Ross and Nelly Here I Am song. So definitely working with them. Man, there's Drummer Boy. That's my dog. I can't forget Drummer Boy. I've done so much work with Drummer Boy. He's been supporting me for a long time. I've been supporting him. We've done events together. We've hosted listening parties together. I don't know. The list goes on. There's just a lot of people, man, and I'm just grateful for it all. And of course, my dog DJ Lalo.
Definitely. You want to say something cool?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Lastly, I wanted to ask you, where do you see your venture taking you to? You know what I mean, in the next couple of years? Because as you can see, you building them stepping stones. You're going up and up and up and up. What's your next? Now that you have your own business, you was able to purchase your own business. What's your next move? You think?
Film. I've always had an interest
in my head, Coach. In my head.
I'll say this real quickly. One thing that I believe in is you have to manifest stuff. You have to put it out there in the universe. You have to speak on it. And right before the pandemic hit, I was talking to one of my friends, and she's involved in the music business as well. And I was telling her, I was like, man, I would like to get involved in film on some way, shape, or form, not necessarily even acting, but just whether it's behind the scenes or help producing a film or even learning how to work the camera, something. And fast forward, I'm on FM radio out here in Atlanta, 99.1 FM. Shout out to my whole family over there. But they've presented me with some really dope opportunities because Hype Media Global, who owns 99.1 FM, they have used me in film to do voiceover, which is great because I was like, man, that's good. I don't necessarily want to be behind the lens, but they liked my voice as a radio personality on the radio station. So I've done voiceover work, and now they've actually casted me to be in a film. I can't talk about it too much, but I'm starting filming with them later on this month. So this will be my first official acting role. I'm really excited about that. I don't know how it's gonna go. Thank you. Yeah, it's big. You know what I'm saying? And in the film, it's gonna be like on Amazon and stuff like that. So it's gonna be on some big platform. So film for sure. That's something. And I would like to do more voiceover work too. I really like to utilize my voice. So yeah, film.
What's been your most used method of promotion for yourself and your business?
Say that one more time.
What's been your most used method of promotion for yourself and your business?
Definitely. There's a couple things. Social media. I'm always putting ads. I spend a lot of money on social media. I don't just post stuff. I actually spend a lot of money doing Facebook ads, Instagram ads on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is monetized, but I also do a lot of Google ads. And then just going out, when I can, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't like to get out there too much, but when I see a good opportunity, I'll get out there. I'll put my banners up. I'll take my business cards, just having opportunities to actually network with people, because to me, that's like the best way to do it, because people want to know you're real. They want to be able to shake hands and kiss babies and know that you know what I'm saying, that you a real deal person. So social media, and then getting out there. I've done billboards, I've had billboards out here in Atlanta, and just a lot of the popular ways of doing things now, social media, billboards, and then attending different events and stuff like that.
Right.
That's dope. Last but not least, man, if there's something that you wanted to give a person that wanted to come up or follow in your footsteps, what type of information would you give them?
Yeah, your internet or mine, one of them kind of cut out. Ask me that question one more time, because it like froze up for a second.
I said, if you had the opportunity to speak to a person who wants to follow in your footsteps, what type of information or advice would you give a person that's trying to be everything that you do? I don't even want to put you in one category, but everything that you do.
I get asked about that a lot, and I actually allow people to come like shadow me. I think that's the best way for them to see if this is something they actually want to do. They'll come spend a day with me, whether I'm working in the studio or attending an event. I would obviously let them know that, you want to know what you're getting into. So why don't you come chill with me or come hang out with me for a day or two or a week or whatever, to see if it's something you actually want to do. Because I think the best way to actually figure something out is just be hands-on with it. And of course, as we talked about earlier, staying consistent with it. You can't do it every now and again and expect to see results. I wish I could go to the gym once a month and have that six pack going on, but it don't work like that. So, staying consistent and just, being around the people that you aspire to be like, and looking at what they do. Of course, I watch a lot of the Breakfast Club interviews because I aspire to be on their level one day. So, that's what I would tell, is just study the people who you aspire to be like, and see what their method is. If it's working for them, it may not exactly work for you, but something similar is going to work. So yeah, that was definitely what I tell them, is just study the people you want to be like, be around those people, and just, take in as much as you can. I watch a lot of interviews too with people who do similar stuff to me, because I'm like, I want to hear their journey. I want to hear what it was you did to get to where you're at.
Right. I definitely continuously watch Drink Champs, Breakfast Club. I like Big Facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I try
to take a little bit from every podcast and see if I can implement it into my podcast and stuff like that. But definitely. But Miss Tampa Mystic, we do appreciate you so much for coming on our platform and speaking to the people, man. Hopefully somebody got something influential through your messages and what you do that they could take and apply to themselves and put it within their community as well. If you want to give everybody a link where they can find you at.
Absolutely. On all social media, my main social media is at Tampa Mystic, like you see it on the screen. Also, Industries Most Wanted. You could follow that. I have a Instagram for that. And of course, my YouTube channel is under Industries Most Wanted. The Grind Report, and it's grind with a Y. We got to be a little bit different. The Grind Report. And just to give you a quick rundown again, of course, I have my podcast. I'm on radio out here in Atlanta, but I do a lot of other stuff too for independent artists, but not just artists, but business owners, DJs, etc. One of the things that I really like to do is I write. I do a lot of press releases. So if anybody has a new business venture or a new single, a new album, new video, I do the press releases, and then I have access to a lot of the bigger blogs. I have a radio station too. I have an internet radio station called the Hype 87.3 that's done very well. I launched that during the pandemic because, again, I didn't want to get bored and complacent because a lot of stuff was shut down during the pandemic. So the Hype 87.3 were officially licensed with ASCAP, and we report through digital radio trackers. So I just have a lot of stuff that, not just artists, but, people who are looking to get their name out there. We build websites. We do all kinds of stuff. So Follow me everywhere at Tampa Mystic. My website's tampamystic.com, mysticcnt.com, industriesmostwanted.com. I got like 30 websites.
That's dope right there, man. Again, man, that's my girl Tampa Mystic, man. ATL. If you're in ATL, man, if you have a chance to even get in connection with her, make sure that you do, man, because she does a lot of things out there in that community, man. And like she said, I can't even name everything that she did already. You know what I mean? She does a lot, you know what I mean? So make sure that you follow, make sure you follow her links and get in contact with her if you can, man. She might have something set up for you when you get down to, because a lot of people from up here love going to Atlanta. You know what I mean? They
Yes.
love that's like second home to a lot of people from my area.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So
I can plug them in with different events. If they want to do a press run and they're looking to do interviews, I can help them align all of that for sure. Hit me up. Let's work.
definitely, man. We appreciate you again, ma'am. Beautiful, always talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Once again, this is one of the people that actually enlightened me to start my podcast. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I'm
So,
so glad that you did, bro.
oh man, I'm so glad I did too. You know what I mean? For real, for real. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that you so much for that. Signing out, my man. My name is D. I said my man. I was about to say Trey Cool at first, but my name is DJ Laylo, man. DJ LAYLO 330. Find me on all social media platforms. Speaker Leakers Worldwide. Just Google us. Find us everywhere, man, and tap in with us, man. Cool.
For sure. TREKUL. Get to know me as well. Speaker League underscore worldwide. That's on IG. Speaker League is one that is Twitter. We everywhere. Check us out each and every Wednesday. It's the Spotlight Wednesday. What one of the
Shout out
most
to you guys, man. Thank you for having me on here. I'm grateful. Thank you for the opportunity.
no
Definitely. We
problem.
always gonna come back
Anytime.
and get you. You never know what business that might pop up. Hey, we might be talking about something that's like, we gotta call my girl Tampa Mystic back, man, and bring her back
No,
on the show,
holla
man.
at your girl. Come to Atlanta. Come through.
I'm coming. You ain't got to tell me twice.
Come on through.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Again, man, we out of here, man. Spotlight Wednesdays, where we interview influential people within the community, hoping to send a positive message to the people within their community. We out of here, man. See us Friday for the pop-up party mix. We got the special
Yeah,
guest and a winner of Indie Tuesdays. My man Act Right on the track right did his thing on that son. So make sure that you get in tune with us with that, man. We out of here. See you next. I was about to say next week, but we'll see you tomorrow.
yeah,
Ain't that
tomorrow morning.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow
Hold on,
morning.
that's
Good morning,
that's
Mr.
Friday.
DJ.
See, we got so hold on. We got so many podcasts tomorrow. Excuse me. Good morning mix coming out tomorrow. We got the Good Morning Mix 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you jump on that. And then Friday, we got the pop-up party mix. I got my days mixed up, man. I done went to graduation, a prom this week, everything, and a couple of DJ jobs. I got everything mixed up this time.
You're on
But you
your
know what?
grind, bro. You on your grind. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
we got to stay on it for real, man. We out of here, man. See y'all tomorrow. Good morning, mix.